Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Xijing. I am a digital and social media specialist based in Hong Kong. I was born and raised in Beijing, mainland China. Today, we're going to talk about the Chinese social media and the China social culture as the first of a series of webinars aiming to discuss why Chinese social media platforms are effective communication and marketing tools for brands, and how can brands use these platforms to reach more Chinese locally and across the world. First, let's take a look at today's agenda. I'm going to talk about the culture of social in China and introduce the top Chinese social media platforms, user demographics, and behaviors. I will give a special introduction of the big players in Weibo, and Leslie will take you to a close look of how Weibo works. And then I will give you one case study, and Leslie will introduce our services. First, like Lee said, Chinese community in a lot of countries across the world are probably the largest communities locally. So how to build effective communications and tap into their online conversations, it's a very important question to a lot of brands who want to expand to reach to the Chinese community. So understand the Chinese community is not just a language issue. Bilingual is not by culture. A lot of conversations, a lot of online or offline happens in the culture context. So we have to really understand the social of culture in China and among Chinese to really understand what's really popular among them. So who are the Chinese social media users? From statistics, you can say most of the social media users on Chinese social media platforms are young, mid-income, and educated Chinese who spend most of the time on social media platforms. They are young, well-educated, and high-income urban Chinese. So why social media suits the Chinese consumer? As you may know, that the scale on piece of China's urbanization in the past 30 years has been developed on an unprecedented rate. So if current trends hold, China's urban population will hit the 1 billion mark by 2013. So in about 20 years, China's cities will have added 350 million people, more than an entire population of the United States today. The oldest rural Chinese who migrate to merge into the city lives, they really have a geographic disconnection. Bringing with them to the big cities are the lack of confidence, loneliness, and other social problems. So these people who moved from home to big cities, they don't have a lot of offline friends, so they go online. They wanted to go to the virtual world to find virtual friends so they can feel that they're connected. And there's also a social disconnection in China, in Chinese society. Because of the one-child policy, a lot of young Chinese are the only kids at their home. This is lucky for them because they don't have to really fight for attention and resources, but it also brings a lot of loneliness and pressure to them because in a very competitive modern society, they have to really work hard or fight hard to get any education opportunities, work opportunities. So they went to the internet and social networks to vent and to express their frustration about their real world problems. So, and there's also an information disconnection in China. As you may know, the Chinese government censor any kinds of media channels really strictly. So people don't trust the information provided by TV stations, radio stations, or newspapers, because that's all the world that the government wants the newspapers or the other media outlets to say. So they go to internet and they put VPN on their computer so they can see what's really going on in the world. So these three disconnections make a unique Chinese internet and social media culture. Because of the disconnections, Chinese spend more and more time on social media sites. As you can see from the bright line here, is social networking sites online. So they spend more time on social network sites to connect with their friends or just to simply get information. 73% of Chinese netizens agreed with the statement that online, I feel free to say and do things I wouldn't do or say offline. So this compared to only 32% of U.S. netizens. And 86% of Chinese live some of their lives online, compared to 42% of American youth. It's very interesting if you see how they use the internet and social networks. They like to share brand and company information, and they like to talk about current affairs. And they also want to share jokes. And here I wanted to say that the jokes is a very tricky part for a lot of brands. A lot of brands want to make their conversations fun and entertaining for Chinese audience on Chinese social media platforms. But the jokes do have a cultural context. Some of the foreign brands, they come up with jokes that are not funny, and some Chinese just simply don't understand it. So here, the jokes and the fun part really needs a lot of local knowledge and local culture understanding. And the next thing is they seek self-help information on social media sites, and they share music, movie, sports information, and they're quite open to share their personal stories online. So if you look at this number, 43% of Chinese wants to or try to find out more about brand on social media sites. And they're more open about brand information in their personal social media networks, compared to only 22% of them globally. So here are three sets of numbers that to explain and introduce why Chinese are so open to brand information. So 71% of them watch commercials on Youku, which is the equivalent size of YouTube. As I mentioned before, the Chinese government censor the media. So Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, all these popular social networks for us, is blocked in China. And 60% of social networking sites advertisements makes them more aware of brands. So they really click and interact with the social advertisements. And almost half of them read blogs produced by brands. So I've talked a little bit about the Chinese culture, the social culture in China. And next, let's go into the Chinese social media ecosystem. Here, as you can see from the charts, all the outside the LinkedIn, Facebook. LinkedIn is unblocked now, but it was blocked. And Facebook was blocked. It's blocked. Twitter's blocked. YouTube's blocked. A lot of the sites is either blocked permanently or it blocks or unblocks. Depends on what's going on in China and across the world. So the inner circle is all the Chinese equivalents of these popular sites. And all those Chinese equivalent sites target a different demographic. So it's quite complicated for international brands to figure out if which brand to use to target their demographic, their targeted audience, and how can they build different kinds of communications and conversations on those different platforms. Although it's very hard, that this is a trend that you don't want to miss because social media is mainstream in China. On average, each have 2.78 social media accounts and 280 million bloggers in 2012. 80% of the Chinese internet users log in at least once a week to different kinds of social networks, and an average of 20 hours per week spent on socializing online. So if you take a look at the population who are frequently users of social networks, Chinese social networks, it's 450 million. It's larger than the population combined of the United States population and Canada's population combined. Here are 5 of the most popular social network sites in China. The first one, the largest one, is QQ. It's an instant messaging sharing platform. It's one of the earliest social networks in China, and because it's free instant messaging, so a lot of people who are using QQ are rural Chinese who have really low income, and the demographic is quite young. The second one is Sina Weibo, the big player in China now. It has 400 million users. For Sina Weibo, its user demographic is more sophisticated, more well-educated, and higher income. The third one is a star in the last 1 or 2 years. It's WeChat. It's a mobile-based social network, combines social sharing and instant message. The number of users grows really fast, and a lot of brands are trying to do some innovative marketings on WeChat as well. For example, Starbucks and Uniqlo. The first one is Renren, is the site that really wants to mock what Facebook is doing. So it's a university and school classmates-based social network. It's been really growing really steady. Basically, teenagers, they create a virtual classroom on Renren so they can share and talk with their classmates. And once they graduate, they normally join Sina Weibo, the second one. So Renren is the user demographic on Renren is very young. So brands like Nike, Adidas, and Coke do a lot of interaction and social campaigns on Renren to target their targeted audience. The last one is Douban. It's been there. It's been the platform has been set up for 4 or 5 years, and the growing is quite steady. Douban is very artsy social network. It's based on interest sharing. There are millions of interest groups on Douban. They're not a huge user base on Douban, but people who get on Douban spend a lot of time on it. Normally they will spend, once they log in, they will spend 2 or 3 hours on Douban to read book reviews, music reviews, or to understand the interested topic that they're interested in. So brands who want to really establish a deeper communication and conversation with Chinese audience, especially young and well-educated Chinese, normally gets on Douban, but they tell about their brand message, their brand knowledge, or their brand's spirit. For example, Rolex is on Douban. They talk about father and son relationships, extreme sports. It got quite a lot of feedback, and there's a very steady and healthy growth of conversations about Rolex on Douban. So if you look at the trend, the social networking using trend in China, so WeChat is growing really fast. And Sina Weibo is being really steady. Douban is growing really fast, and Renren is quite steady. So Sina Weibo is considered a microblog. There are several microblogs in China. They all compete with each other. Sina Weibo is the first and the largest. So normally people, the 450 million social networking users normally will have a Sina Weibo or have Sina Weibo and one of the other microblogs. So as you can see from this chart, microblog is really popular. 97% of the 450 million users are microblog users. Here, we're going to talk about online videos. You can see from the chart that the black line, no, the gray line is the time spent on online videos. Because people don't trust the TV programs or TV station is heavily censored, they can't get a lot of information. So many Chinese netizens and social networking users, they turn to online video portals to watch the videos that they like, get more information, and just simply killing time and finding some entertaining content. So 62% of Chinese internet users using online portals. The popular online portals are these 5. The first one is Youku. Youku is the equivalent of YouTube. It's the largest video sharing portal. And the second one is Tudou. It's a younger video sharing portal. It's getting really popular by streaming a lot of international programs and shows, soap operas. And Youku and Tudou merged last year. And the two sides, the new company has the largest user base, video sharing user base in China. And the third one is iQIYI. iQIYI is very local-based video sharing portals. Almost all content on iQIYI are popular TV shows, local TV shows, and soap operas. And it's free of charge. It provides everything that you can find on TV back in the 1950s or 1960s, all the popular soap operas. So it's getting quite popular among different age groups. So the first one is Q6. As you can tell from the name, is Q6. It's a very young, younger generation-oriented and targeted social video sharing portal. It has a lot of cool, entertaining videos, both locally and internationally. So people who are young normally goes to Q6 to find some extreme sports, music, concerts, those kind of videos. And 56.com, it's very girly and woman-oriented, woman-targeted. A lot of romance shows, Korean pop soap operas, and woman concerts, celebrity makeup tips, this kind of content are on 56.com. The Chinese using the video sharing sites a bit differently from the rest of the world. So only less than 8% of content on video sites is generated by users. So around 50% of the videos are TV programs, movies, soap operas, and sports, and the rest are brand commercials, and they translate a lot of YouTube videos and post it on their video sharing portals. So basically, Chinese social networking users use these video portals as their TV stations that customize for themselves. And next, let's talk about the key players, Sina Weibo. Sina Weibo and all the other popular Weibo sites has more people, user base, than people live in the whole of the United States. So 400 million accounts on Sina Weibo, over 130,000 corporate accounts, millions of international and domestic celebrities, businessmen, and politicians are on Weibo, including Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Bill Gates, Gregor, Kevin, and Christine Lagarde. So Gregor is the mayor of Vancouver. He got on Weibo last year with the help of his Chinese assistant. He's been really active on Weibo, and within 24 hours of his account created, he got 50,000 followers. All those followers, most of the followers are Chinese who live in Canada, especially Vancouver. And Gregor shares some new regulations or his personal life, and also what's going on in Vancouver with his audience. And there are quite a lot of interactions between him and his audience. People asking questions regarding life in Vancouver, new regulations, and the Chinese community, the rights of the Chinese communities. And he answers most of them. So there's quite a healthy and open communication between him and the local Chinese communities. So Sina Weibo has been a darling of both domestic and international brands. The platform offers brands a quality, diversified target audience, and sophisticated engagement tools. So 56% of Weibo's 400 million users follow at least one brand. On a normal day, there are 100 million new posts, but during big events or if there's something really big happens in the Chinese world, you can see a huge number of posts posting a day. Like last year during the Olympics, there are 10 million posts a day just talking about the Olympics. So the volume is quite high. So users of Sina Weibo are young and well educated. So although most registered users are male, active users are female. There's 65% of active female users, and 70% content concerning brands from women. So here you can see why people are using Sina Weibo. Most of the time they go to Sina Weibo to seek news, and they wanted to know what's really happened because they don't trust the mainstream media. And the second is for fun. So if you can read Chinese, you can go to Sina Weibo, or later Leslie will give you the introduction. You can see that most of the content shared on Sina Weibo are quite entertaining and interesting and funny. It's like the Facebook post. Once you post a cute animal or a funny picture of something, it gets the most repost, and it gets most sharing and comments and likes. It's the same on Sina Weibo. But the thing is, what's really funny considered by Chinese is not the same as what's really funny considered by people living in other cultures. So this is the tricky part, and that's why localization is very important for brands to really use Sina Weibo and other social media sites alike in China, and or to communicate with the Chinese audience. So the entertainment and fun content are reposted most often compared to Twitter. Compared to Twitter, Sina Weibo is more it's more entertaining. It's more like Facebook. Functionally, Sina Weibo is a combination of Twitter and Facebook. So next, I wanted to give you a simple case study that I did for Shangri-La last year. As you may know, that Shangri-La is an Asian-based brand. It starts off from Malaysia and now headquartered in Hong Kong. So Shangri-La, it's a hotel that really wanted to communicate the message that they're a hotel for Chinese It's a very Chinese-friendly hotel, and they're a representative of Asian, especially Chinese culture, hospitality. So to raise awareness of the brand in China, while significantly increase word of mouth of brand mentions on social networks, and also to build a connection with the brand and an understanding of the brand's belief, there is no better act of hospitality as to treat a stranger as one's own. Sina Weibo set up 3 mini sites based on their Shangri-La set up 3 mini sites based on their Shangri-La Weibo account for 3 different social campaigns. The first one is China National Day. Sorry. So basically what they did is they encourage their fans to tag 3 of their Weibo friends and also give a reason why he or she wants to invite the 3 friends to go to Shangri-La hotels across the world to spend the Chinese National Day. And once they post this, all this post will appear on their personal accounts and Shangri-La's Weibo feed. So people can vote for the best reasons. And every day we will have the winner who has the most vote. And every week during the 4-week period, we will have one lucky winner to receive the vouchers given by Shangri-La. And the second campaign is for Christmas. So before Christmas, I set up this mini site based on Weibo. All the Weibo fans can watch a video. And on the video, there will be little camera icons pop up from time to time. You can get a screen capture of the video, and it will pop off as a postcard. And you can tag your friends and write down the message that you wanted to deliver to your friends for Christmas and for New Year. So once you fill in all this information, Shangri-La will help you send out a real postcard with the screen capture to your friends and to send your best wishes to your friends for the new year. I get really good feedback. We sent out almost 3,000 postcards after this campaign. And the last one is for Chinese New Year. So we built the red lanterns and red envelopes. As you may know that giving gifts and red envelopes to each other during Chinese New Year, it's very popular and it's a crucial part of the Chinese culture. So when we built these red lanterns and red envelopes, some of them have a special offer, voucher, gifts, and also or virtual money that they can buy their friends' gifts online. So they can randomly pick the lantern and red envelopes and fill in their information and tag their friends, their Weibo friends, and send out this red envelope and red lanterns. And their friends will receive a notification on their Weibo accounts. And then when they open it, they will see what they win. So it's very interesting. Shangri-La just want to express the message that they wanted to celebrate the Chinese New Year with the Chinese people together. It's very warm feeling. A lot of Chinese feel like this is a brand that really consider them as family and friends. The beauty of this campaign is the ROI is really high compared to campaigns doing on traditional media. So the overall investment of the whole year on Sina Weibo for Shangri-La is about $383,000 US. And so the ROI is 1.68. So it's almost twice of the investment gained out of this 3 campaign. So there are 46,000 new fans, and there are 171,000 brand mentions, 45,000 video views and 2,300 engagement. This engagement means people who really take the voucher and go visit Shangri-La F&B venues and Shangri-La or book Shangri-La rooms during the whole year. Like I said, that the content shared on Sina Weibo is quite unique and funny, entertaining, and it's very it's in a culture context. So storytelling is very important for brands to engage with Chinese audience. And here is an example. We will send it to you after the webinar. It's an example of how Dove tell their story and to increase the sales of chocolate during the Chinese Valentine's Day. It's quite interesting. It probably will give you some inspiration and ideas about the coming Valentine's Day if you wanted to use social network and storytelling to engage with the Chinese audience. So next, Leslie will give you introduction of how Sina Weibo works and also some services our company provides. I will pass it to Leslie. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Xueqing. Thank you, Xueqing. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you're enjoying the presentation and not feeling overwhelmed so far. Now let's have a look at the welcome page of Weibo to get familiar with this interface. As you can see on my screen, this is the welcome page before you log into Weibo, your Weibo account. This is their little logo, the little I-man here, and here is the Chinese character for Xinguang Weibo, and this is the English version. This big green button is for sign up, and once you log in from here, you can get into your account. And you may also log in with MSN. Tianyi, Liantong, these are other Chinese websites where you can create accounts to have their webmail service. I cannot see Google here, so it's not really the Google-friendly one. As you can see here, the horizontal scrolling, this is what the hot topics people are talking about on Weibo. Once you click in, you can get into all the hashtags with these keywords. And also the vertical scrolling down is just like Twitter's. It is when people updating their new information, and it's a live information sharing tool. As you can see here, like 3 minutes ago, this person is talking about this, and it just keeps scrolling down. On the left side, it talks about the people who are currently on Weibo. They're like online users for now. So every time when you refresh the page, you get a whole new list for all the people. On the right bottom, and this is the top 10 the most popular users on Weibo. Most of them are pop star, like Chinese movie stars and singers, and also some famous people. And these are other like people users. Okay. So basically, this is a screenshot of Sina Weibo welcome page, and I just share you with all the information. So when you create an account on Weibo, here, this is the home page you will get. You can customize the layout, update company information, and so on. So this is an example when we register on Sina Weibo and get verified, and this is at the very beginning of our Weibo. As you can see, this is our Chinese company name, LA Yi, and we're lucky to get the blue B here. This represents we're a verified and verified account by Xinguang Weibo, and just sort of give you more credibility. You can also update the logos in the short description about your company and all the contact information. And here's about the stats of your fans, your friends and fans, and the blogs. You can also customize the customer service information, like leader teams, leader members and team members here on Weibo. So there's sort of many things you can do to make it customized. Oh, and the bigger things, Weibo, they can link to Youku, which Shixin talked to you earlier. It's a Chinese version of YouTube where you can upload videos and share it with friends. So you can have a video on your Weibo account at the main page. So I will pause for 10 minutes for now. Xixing and I are happy to answer some of your questions. So please feel free to ask a question by typing it into the chat box on the bottom right of your screen. If we're running out of time or if you have to go, you can contact us directly. And here is our contact information. And we will get back to you shortly.
Here's a question I saw asked from Brad. How did you measure the ROI for Shangri-La's Weibo activity? It's quite complicated. So basically, when we start to do social media marketing on Sina Weibo with our clients, we will sit down with the clients and talk about their KPI. So KPI is basically the key performance indicator. So what the brands want is a very important thing for us to know. For example, for Shangri-La, it's brand mentioning and fan base and visits to their local hotels are the three most important things that Shangri-La is looking for. So basically, when we started, Shangri-La has 8,000 Sina Weibo users at the beginning of the year. So Shangri-La wants to reach the number of fan base to 50,000, to 40,000. So that's one KPI for us. So we have to think of ways or the campaign mechanism to raise the fan base. And the second thing is brand mentions. So we did a survey online among the Chinese internet users and social networking users. The brand perception is Shangri-La is a luxury hotel, but it's far away from my life. I don't see that I will go there just for F&B or other things. I probably will stay there if my company pays my trip or if it's a business trip. So we did the survey. So Shangri-La wants to change the perception to make Shangri-La a good friend with local Chinese communities across the countries that they have hotels in. So they want them to really think of Shangri-La as a place that they can hang out with their friends and they can frequently visit the F&B venues, the spa, and other services. So that's the second thing. We wanted to change the perception and also the social mentions, how many shares we get. Like the important thing for Shangri-La is not only to influence the 8,000 people who follow them on Sina Weibo. It's also the 8,000 people's friends. So we want to make the 8,000 people familiar with Shangri-La. If they follow us, definitely they like us and they know more than other people about Shangri-La. So we wanted to influence their friends. So how to influence their friends is by social mentioning. So we set up a software just to capture anything, the keywords that we set up for Shangri-La, and the keywords we constantly communicate for Shangri-La to our audience, and to see the number of mentions. And also the last most important thing is we wanted to draw people to visit and really spend money. The 2,300 is people, not including the people who get the voucher. It's the people who visit Shangri-La through either a email marketing a direct email that have the Sina Weibo registration link that they can either get a welcoming fruit basket or a parking voucher, not directly related to spending money in the hotel, but we can tell that, track them that it's coming from Sina Weibo to the hotels. And also we put it's in dollar amount based on the investment and the sales increase of before and after the campaign. There's a very complicated formula to really calculate it, but and it's case by case. Different clients have a different kind of KPI and different kinds of a calculation formula. Brad, I don't know if I answered your question.
Sorry, Shijing, Brad is muted, so he's not able to answer
verbally.
Okay. But yes, he says yes. He says thank you, yes. So
okay.
If you have nothing else to add, I would give the controls back to Leslie. She says she might want to share something with us about the Canadian Tourism Commission's own Weibo account. With that, or did you want to add something else, Shijing?
Oh, I just wanted to say that if you have any questions, do send us your question. We will make sure that we answer them after the webinar and send it back to you.
I also want to add that we have a recording. We have recorded this session, so if you want a copy of it to forward to colleagues, just let us know as well. Leslie?
Oh, yes. Hi, just since we have a little bit more time, I can just show you some of the examples of the users on Weibo. Okay. This is the main page of the Canadian Tourism Commission, where you can see they have they made this they make their Weibo looks really good. So these are usually there's different types of Weibo. Some of the Weibo they give information, and some of the other Weibo they want to have more interaction with their users. As you can see, the CTC Weibo is more of the information delivering kind of Weibo. They encourage the users to add them and be part of their activities. And they encourage the user to share pictures and make a little, this is come and share your pictures activities, yeah. And then they get a chance to win.
Leslie, I wanted to kind of explain this campaign because the people who are behind this campaign, I kind of know them, so we shared some of the tips of doing this campaign. So as you can see from here, it's a corporate page for brands on Sina Weibo, and you can basically customize it to your own interest or your own whatever you like it to look like. So as you know that next month is the Chinese New Year. It's one of the most important festivals for Chinese communities inside China and also in other countries like the Chinese communities overseas. So here they launched a campaign. This is an application they built in on Sina Weibo. It's like Facebook application. So on the top part is celebrate Chinese New Year and share your picture with us. And the picture, the whole theme of this campaign is Canada in Chinese travelers' eyes. So what they do is you can take a picture while you travel to Canada during this 1 month period, Chinese New Year. Because Chinese New Year in China, or for Chinese, some of them travel with their family or friends to another country because they have a long holiday. Normally it will be 7, 10 days to 10 days. So people take this opportunity to travel to countries that far away. So they create a hashtag is to share pictures of Canada with us, and people can become a fan of this page and take a picture of Canada and share it with the hashtag on Sina Weibo. And all the picture that has the hashtag will appear on this application. And there is a vote. As you can see the little heart there. They just launched this campaign, so you probably cannot see a lot of votes here. And then you can vote it. And the most voted picture will receive a gift from CTC. So this is a very interesting mechanism for social sharing. So whatever, like once they liked this page, they will automatically send out a post on their personal Weibo account to say, I liked this picture, come and take a look. And so no matter how many friends they have, their friends will see this post. And it will highly possible to direct their friends to come to the page and to know this, this competition and become a fan. So it's good for brand mentions and social sharing, and it's also good for increased fan base. So that's a campaign mechanism that I was talking about. It's similar to the Shangri-La one. So I think they launched this campaign not long ago, so they have almost, I think, 100 pictures. As the campaign goes, there will be more and more pictures coming in, and there will be more and more fans. Because if you wanted to join the competition, you have to become a fan first.
Thank you very
much. So
this
is a very smart mechanism. Yeah.
Thank you, Xiqing. I think some people are having some difficulties with the sound. I apologize for that. I'm not sure actually what the problem is. But Leslie, if you could answer the next question, and that is from Irene, who would like to have the Weibo account on her website.
Yeah, so Irene asked, I'd like to have the Weibo icon on my website so the Chinese client base have an access to the Weibo. How can I do this? And also, can English content be translated into Chinese? Yes, everything can be translated, and they just don't have the English version for Weibo yet. But rumor says I think it's coming soon. For the link of Weibo, I think it's when you registered as verified, like a corp Weibo user, and then you can access like a short link. It's like the Facebook where they give you a HTML piece of code, and then you can embed it to your website. I hope I answered your question about this. And if you want more, I can give you the stats for doing that.
And of course, for the translations, the contact information will be in the follow-up email we'll send you. That's what we do, so we'll definitely be happy to help you with that.
Yes.
So this is pretty much the end of our presentation. If there's any other questions, you can send them by email. We just want to thank you all for joining us today. Leslie, can you put the contact information once more on your screen, maybe just to finish off in case you didn't note it? And there will be a follow-up email to everyone who registered, and it will contain our contact information. And if you wish to receive the recording, let us know as well. Thank you.
Yes, and just a reminder that just a reminder that at the end of the presentation, a brief survey will appear on your screen. So we really appreciate if you fill it out. This being our first webinar of this month's series, so your opinion is very important for us and will help us to improve our future presentations. So thank you all for joining us. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much.